Today, I show you how to make this with a curved surface, surface, an airplane wing, and the glass. I created all of these with only curves. I didn't use any objects or anything like that. And today I'm going to show you how to use all three of these. This one I'll show more in a later episode. I just kind of showed you the basics of it for now. These two, I show you kind of what they do. Anyway, stay tuned. Hey everyone, this is Kevin with InventMark back again. Today I'm going to be showing you a couple of things, and I probably already showed you in the intro video, which I haven't even recorded yet, but that's another story. Is these curves, the Bezier and Circle Curves, primarily, and I'll go into the surface curve a little bit. But the Bezier Curve is a way to make shapes really easy. So first thing is just create a curve. I'm going to go into top view, orthographic, and select everything, size it to wide at 0. That way it makes it straight. And then duplicate it. And rotate X 90, rotate Z negative 90. And if we go into wireframe mode, you need to rotate it X 90 and Y or Z negative 90. And what curves can do you can basically make the shape however you want. Like if you wanted to make an airplane wing, it's really easy to do because you can go like this and change things around. Make that flat. Move that whole thing down. Basically, it's just makes the shape whatever shape you want, and you can actually connect these if you want in edit mode. You gotta select. Kind of hard to see; they're real close to each other, but if you select the last one, it's on the last here. Hit Alt C. It connects everything into kind of a loop, so that everything is connected. Actually, it just connects this one and this one. So you have a complete object. And you can shape this object with that secondary one. It's the bezel is what I'm using here to make this. So you can take that, you can curve it however you want. When you manipulate these, what it does is it adjusts the scale on how tight these groupings are. You can adjust the curve and make it smoother. You can manipulate it that way. Oh, cat's going crazy. But that's the basic for the basic curve there, and the bezel. And if you want to add a taper to it, we just need to add another curve here. And go to edit mode. Make it all straight here. And add a taper. That would be that one. So basically this makes the taper on the object. And it's actually this way here. So basically it goes from the origin point on. That lets you adjust the shape there. If it's on 0 there, for the origin point, and you move it over from that, you can adjust it. Right now it's kind of doing the opposite. So what I'm going to do is rotate X 180. So that it kind of does the same thing with correlation to that. And you kind of can adjust everything that way. You can extract it and make it all kinds of funky. That's how it correlates, is the point of origin, that it changes everything. And you can make weird shapes like that. It's actually really good to, like, for really detailed curves and things like that, for like, just imagine the door frame on a car, just how curvy that is and how detailed that is. You can actually go in here. Let me select these two. I'll just add a subdivision to it. So WS subdivide. But you can make pretty detailed things with this, and it makes a nice smooth curve. And with this you can see the detail that you have, and you can change this. That changes the amount of resolution on there. And that one doesn't do anything. Or does it? Nope. So it changes the resolution on that way, and when you select on it, this one changes it that way. So you can make it however detailed you want, and like always, convert it into an actual mesh. Alt-C. And I had the wrong one selected. Alt-C. Now it's an actual mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these and show you the circle, what kind of things it can do. And just add a Bezier curve. And select this one, change the bevel to match this. So it's changing like that. It's always weird, the orientation of how this kind of works. So Y90 negative. I think that's how it's working. I'm not sure. We'll try to figure this out here. Okay, so it's upside down. I'm confused now. Okay. It is like that. There we go. That's the shape. I had to figure that one out. Okay, so now I can kind of play around with it and show you. Figuring out the orientation sometimes gets a little bit difficult. But if you want to make a glass, this is a good way to make it really easy. Like even if you want to do like a wine glass. Just like this. And it's basically whatever this shape is going to be the contour of the entire thing. So basically you make half of the object. And you can get it as detailed as you want. That's just a kind of a quick example. And you can subdivide these, make it as detailed as you want here. Give that a crisper edge there. And see, when you go into edit mode on this object, it's just a circle still. The entire object's actually being made with this bevel object. And so the only thing that we'll probably need to fix is here and at the bottom, once the mesh is complete. And I'm going to leave, actually, I'm just going to lower the resolution. Actually, I'll just leave it the same. Let's do 32 by 32. I'll give it a nice high resolution. Alt C to convert it back to a mesh, or convert it to a mesh, not back to a mesh. And so we have our object. Get out of orthographic view. So we need to go down here and select a spot that's close to it. Press the. Actually, I got right on it. That's rare that that happens. Select that whole edge, hit F, make a face there. So now that's a solid object. And do the same thing here. So now we have a completely manifold object that doesn't have any holes or anything, and it's nice and smooth. And even if we just gave this a quick material, excuse me, and made it glass, go into rendered view. It's a nice glass that it's got all the properties that you would want it to have. Change the QR on it. Make it look more like crystal. Make it not quite so shiny. Make it really clear. Well, it's got nice smooth edges all the way around. It even looks like a glass. Poorly made glass, it's not exactly 100% solid, but and that was made using all curves. There's really nothing to it. See the bottom. It's got the right thickness. And it didn't come from a signal shape or anything like that. It was just all curves, and doing that kind of stuff's kind of cool. And last thing I'll show you, that's just nothing. Oops. Okay. Today I'm going to show you the surface. So this is also very interesting. I'll make it flat in edit mode. We're on material, aren't we? Okay, there we go. For the surface, you can add it to make it cyclic, which means that it wraps around in a circle. Like that. You can make it endpoint, which means that it goes edge to edge. So you can go cyclic on either way. If you try it on both of them, it makes kind of like a puff pastry type thing. It's not really a very good object to work with, really. So you usually only want to use one or the other. And the Bezier, I don't know what that does yet. I haven't figured that one out. Because I really honestly don't know what it does. But the edge planes, you can use those. And use the object that way. But you only start out with 9 tiles here. What I like to do is just extrude, press 1, Y, and just repeat that. Because you can extrude along one edge as long as all the edge is selected. And once you get as many as you need up there, you can do the x-axis, just E1, enter, E1, enter. Just do that a whole bunch of times and you get a pattern here. And with this you can basically make whatever shapes you want. You can also use the proportional editing to make nice flat surfaces. Now this is something you want to use like on if you're making a car model. You can make all sorts of nice clean smooth edges. Like if you wanted to make a face or something, just do this here. Because you can kind of use these as a own little, oh, wrong way. Just like vertices, but they're not really. But you can get more and more detailed and too close. Move just one at a time. This isn't one of my strong molding things, is making shapes like this really, but if you get a messed up edge, just it's S, X, 0, just lines them all up. But you can go through and make shapes all you want. Make them smooth as you want. Here's where you can use the see how that's kind of got that weird curve on it? You can change the pattern here. And that's even worse, so you want to use the opposite, so that would be a good one. It's like if you're making a face, it's like part of it. That's kind of like a little bit more in depth on the curved surface. If you want to make this like just an eyeball by itself. Anyway, I don't want to get too complicated with it, but it's just another way to model instead of sculpting or using an object and using booleans. You can just make the surface on it. Oh, and if you wanted to make it cyclic, that's the wrong way. It'd be like that. You'd have to kind of make this out, because you can't really control the bottom part. So you have to kind of do that, but you only have that certain flat plane there to work with. So you kind of want to start at the center, not like what I did. I just kind of did an offset. For whatever shape you're making, you can always extend it too. You just got to go the right direction. So E, Y, 1, negative. Same with this. You go extrude X, 1, negative. Extrude 1, X, negative. Excuse me. Oh. Anyway, you guys get the idea for that. And with this, these change the detail, because these curves here that you're changing aren't the actual wireframe of it. The wireframe is adjusted by that. Like that has a ton of surfaces there, a ton of vertexes. Or vertices, I don't know how it's pronounced. You can make it small. You can make it 1-to-1 with these. They're pretty close to 1-to-1. And on the back they're huge, but it's only because it's like that. You don't have to make it like that. Convert that to a mesh. Just select these ones. Just use that. And then the tools bridge. Just bridge them together like that. Do whatever you want, and you can select all these. Make a face. Now you have a solid object. Take smoothing off of there. You can see kind of what the detail looks like. That's only because I made it 2 resolution on both axes. Anyway, that's pretty much all I was going to show you for today. And if you have any ideas for what you want to see next, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to get it done. Thanks for watching.